Good morning, students. Today we will read about the chapter Industries. Often we come across words like film industry, communication industry, textile industry, etc. But do you know what is an industry? An economic activity involving buying and selling of goods and services, collection of raw materials and minerals, and changing them into a finished product is called an industry. Industries are classified into various categories on the basis of their size, ownership, and raw materials used. Classification based on size. Number 1 is cottage industries. A cottage industry refers to a system of production where goods and services are produced at home in small amounts as opposed to large-scale production in a factory. Cottage industry focus on manufacturing unique goods and services that require many producers who mostly work part-time. This industry does not require a lot of capital to start. Second is small-scale industries. The small-scale industries are generally comprised of those industries which manufacture, produce and render services with the help of small machines and less manpower. For example, bakeries, cycles, utensils, electronic goods, small toys, paper bags, photography. Third is large-scale industries. Industries which requires huge infrastructure and manpower with an influx of capital assets are large-scale industries. In India, large-scale industries are the ones with a fixed asset of more than 100 million rupees or rupees 10 crores. For example, textile industries, cement industries, chemical industries, iron and steel industries. Now, classification based on ownership. Number 1, public sector industries. Public sector industries are those industries which are owned by government or their different agencies. Most of the heavy industries such as iron and steel, petroleum and aircrafts are owned by the government. Some examples of these industries are Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, Steel Authority of India Limited. Next is private sector industries. Private sector industry is the part of a country's economic system that is run by individuals and companies rather than the government. Most private sector organizations are run with the intention of making profit. For example, Bajaj Auto Limited, Reliance Industries Limited. Third is joint sector industries. Joint sector industries are owned jointly by the government and private individuals who contributed to the capital. In joint sector, both public sector and private sector join hands to establish new enterprise. It combines merits of both public and private sector. The concept of joint sector matches with the concept of mixed economy. For example, Maruti Suzuki India Limited is a joint venture. Now, classification based on raw materials. Number 1, forest-based industries. Those industries which take raw materials from the forest are called forest-based industries. For example, in making furniture and paper, raw materials are taken from the forest. Next is mineral-based industries. Those industries which take mineral ores as raw materials are called mineral-based industries. They provide important raw materials for other industries as well. For example, iron and steel industry, aluminium industry, copper industry. Third is marine-based industries. These industries get their raw materials from seas and oceans. Industries which process seafood or other products using them as raw materials are part of this type of industry. For example, seafood industry. Fourth is agro-based industries. Industries that have agricultural produce as raw materials are known as agro-based industries. These are consumer-based industries. Cotton, jute, silk, woolen textiles, sugar, edible oil, etc. These industries are based on agricultural raw materials. Now, what are the factors that influence where an industry locates? So the factors are raw material, power, land, transport, communication, labor, capital, market, water. Industrial system. The work of industry depends on a system. This system is known as the industrial system. This system is formed of input, methods, and output. The input in this procedure includes raw material, cost of land, labor, machinery, transportation, power, and other. The process includes a wide range of activities that convert the raw material into the finished product. Thereafter comes the output. This is actually the income earned by the preceding two processes. For instance, in the textile industry, input includes cotton as the raw material, the land cost, the cost of transport, etc. The process is ginning and spinning, weaving, etc. And the output is the finished cloth. Now, distribution of major industries. Iron and steel industry. The iron and steel industry is the basic key industry that produces steel, which is a raw material for many industries. It is also called the backbone of all industries. The raw materials needed for this industry are iron, coal, manganese, and limestone. World producers. China is the biggest producer of steel, followed by USA. Japan, India, Russia, Germany, South Korea, Mexico, and UK are other producers of steel. In USA, Pittsburgh is an important steel city. Indian steel industries. Major steel plants in India are located at Banpur, Jamshedpur, Rourkela, Salem, Vijayanagar and Visakhapatnam. Tata Iron and Steel Company Limited, TISCO, used to be the only iron and steel plant in India before 1947. Our government has set up several iron and steel plants after independence. Textile industries. Textile industry began as a cottage industry, but now it is one of the most important industries. It employs thousands of workers. Earlier, textile industries were located near seaports so that its export were easier. The cotton industry is one of the oldest industries in the world. Before the Industrial Revolution, cotton cloth was made using hand spinning techniques. The first successful mechanized textile mill was established in Mumbai in 1854. Chemical industries. These industries produces chemicals needed in agriculture and manufacturing of medicine, textiles, glass, leather and sugar. They are also needed in the manufacture of detergents, pesticides, fertilizers, explosives and synthetic fiber. USA, Germany, UK, Japan, China and India are the leading producers. Engineering industries. Engineering industries use steel as raw material to manufacture industrial and agricultural equipment, electric goods, textile machines, computers, transformers, etc. Automobiles like cars, trucks, railway coaches also fall under this category. Hindustan Machine Tools Limited and Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited are the two examples of engineering industries in India. Thank you.